Okay, so the game against Newcastle highlighted what we've been seeing for a long time. The attack is stale. We've got an attack to fix. Come and join us. Get in the comments, get in the chat. Let us know. Come on, let's blow this bit. Good morning, Arsenal lovers. Good morning, Gunner lovers. Good morning, everyone that's watching across the world. It is Monday. Monday. Oh, I'm like Garfield out here hating these Mondays. I don't know how you guys feel, but I really hate Mondays. Probably speaks volumes about what I do outside of this Gooniverse, and that's why I'm so grateful to have you joining me every morning, and I thank you so much. Thank you. Wherever you're watching, whatever you're doing, however you're feeling, thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. Good morning to you. I'm Edwin Ash. This is the Big Arsenal Breakfast Show. We have been going now for we're entering about 8 weeks. We're approaching 8 weeks of going, and I have to say this has been an absolute revelation. And cheers for getting involved. I can see some people in the chat. I'm going to say good morning to them in just a second. But first, just a quick bit of admin. As ever, you can see on the screen there where you can get in contact if you want to. If you want to have your say, if you want to have, whatever's on your mind put out into the ether, then by all means do it by joining us on our socials. I'm not going to read them out because they're right there on the screen. They're there. If you want to follow us, we are all over there. The most important thing, though, if you can be bothered, if you can be asked, if you like a bit of this, if you're new to this and you're thinking, oh, this could be my buzz, this could be my ting.
Lizzo and Subscrizzle.
That's right, you can.
Lizzo and Subscrizzle.
Lizzle and Subscrizzle. Like and subscribe. I can't speak this morning already. Okay. Oh, let me do my vocalese. 6 thick thistle sticks. 6 thick thistle sticks. Pizza pepper, picked a pepper. Oh. Anyway, you can like and subscribe. Please do. Helps us get out to more Gooners across the universe. And then we can have a really good chat, build a channel, continue with this amazing community. And you can be having your say with Gunners like North London Gooner, who says, morning all. Morning to you, Robin. I hope you're well. What's going on? G-Dog, a Babs original. A Babs original says, what up? I'm going to say what up to you too, G-Dog. North London Gooner says, I got my coffee. I've just had one, but it's not kicked in yet, Robin. I'm still... But don't you worry. It'll kick in a minute, and they'll be like... or something like that. And then good morning to Lagoshi-kun with the coffee emoji as well. So we're all caffeining ourselves up to the eyeballs this morning, as we should do. North London Gooner says, morning Lagoshi. Coffee indeed. Okay, so we're all agreed. We're on a caffeine trip. I think we have to be. Does anyone start a day without a coffee? There are those people out there, aren't there? There's those people out there that'll be like, no, because caffeine's really bad for you, so I try to avoid it. It's like, okay, good. Avoid the coffee. If it were me, I'd probably be starting my day with a... Well, no, I'm not going to say that's not suitable for this kind of channel. Okay, what have we got going on today? What have we got going on today? I have to say it's going to be a tricky one. It's going to be a tricky one. I was just putting the show together last night. The theme is that I'm seeing across the Gooniverse, I think we're all in agreement, is that we are not playing well. We're not playing well. There's 4 games to go. We're all a bit worried that us not playing well is going to mean dropping points, missing out on the league, and therefore... being gutted again, having the rival fans come in, the bottle emojis, the bottles, I'm drinking a bottle of tears, and that's all going to happen as well. And we're all sort of sat here scratching our heads going, what's going on with Arsenal? Why can't they get fired up? What can we do to change that attack? Because quite frankly, it is guff. And we want your ideas. And we are going to get into that in the show. I want your ideas. Chat, please do. What's on your mind? Who do you want to see? How do we change it? Who do we freshen up? How do we rest people if we can? The injuries seem to be, well, not just injuries. They're not out and out injuries, are they? They're issues. The issues with Kai and Eze. And now Martinelli apparently has tweaked his hamstring. They're piling up. How do we manage these guys? How do we keep them fresh? We've got big games coming up. We've got Atletico Madrid on Wednesday, which we will preview properly tomorrow. But we've got to start thinking about who's going to play in that. And do we have to sacrifice a little bit of cohesion? Not that we've got any left, so that we can rest players for the run in the Premier League. I mean, it's a tactical nightmare, and I'm so glad I'm not a Premier League manager. I really am. I'm so glad I don't earn millions of pounds every year to talk football every day and play, direct world-class players across the pitch. What do we do? Because that's what we're going to look at. We're going to look at a little bit of the run-in as well. and we want your big ass opinions. So we'll chat as we go along, but right at the end, let's collate that all together and go strong with what is on your mind. So, just a little bit about yesterday, the FA Cup. Chelsea beat Leeds 1-0. Leeds. Leeds. But do you know what? I actually think, to a certain degree, from a comedy aspect, not Leeds losing, but Chelsea kind of getting their shit together a little bit. Chelsea getting their shit together a little bit in time for Tottenham visiting them could be absolutely fucking hilarious. So I'm kind of all for that, if I'm honest with you. I'm a little bit all for that. Right. Let us get into it. Right. We'll do a little bit about the running, and I can see some people in the chat giving their ideas. We'll come to you, Robin. I will come to you in just a second because I want to tie that in with how we fix this issue that we got an attack. But first, I thought it'd be good to do a little running recap. Okay. So, according to my calculations, if you have a look on the screen there, these are the remaining games for each team. So, Arsenal have Atleti, right? Then we've got Fulham. Then City have Everton. Then we've got Atleti in the second leg at home. And we've got West Ham. They've got Brentford. We got Burnley. They got the FA Cup final now, sandwiched in between versus Chelsea. And then we play Crystal Palace on the last game of the season. Now, they play Aston Villa on the last game of the season, but there's two games there that they've got to squeeze in. They've got to squeeze in Bournemouth away and Crystal Palace at home. So I think the order of this, when I was going through it last night, even though those two games are to be scheduled, it goes something like this. We play Atleti, obviously, on Wednesday, and then we go first against Fulham on Saturday, 5:30. They then have to go away to Everton on a Monday night, 8 o'clock, under the lights, Hill Dickinson Stadium. Then we play Atleti on Tuesday next week at home, 8 o'clock. And then they play Brentford on Saturday at 5:30 at home. We then play the day after at West Ham on the 10th at 4:30. And then they've got Chelsea Saturday the 16th. And then, of course, we've got Burnley Sunday the 17th. That time is to be confirmed, I believe, but it's looking like a 5:30 kickoff on a Sunday. Now, I've had a little look, right? Look at these games. So they have originally scheduled was Bournemouth away for them on the 17th. Well, now they're in the FA Cup final, right? So that's going to be the 16th. So that's got to be moved. They then had scheduled Friday the 22nd for their game against Palace before the 24th, where they play Villa. There's two games there that got to be rescheduled. Now, I was looking at this online, and it was kind of suggesting as if they were going to go, they'll play the Bournemouth game on like the Tuesday, the 19th, and then they'll have to squeeze in the Palace game on like, let's say Friday, and then they'll have to play on Sunday. I can't see that being realistic. Can you? That was the rumors or the bits of information that I was seeing online, which I don't think can happen. I'd imagine they'll have to move that Bournemouth game, sandwich that between, where are they? Their game Brentford on the 9th and somewhere around the 14th or 15th of May, right? So I can't imagine they're going to have to play 3 Premier League games in a week. That seems crazy to me. If it is, I think that absolutely benefits us. I think they're going to have to move that Bournemouth game to the 14th or 15th. So they'll play Brentford, then a midweek game against Bournemouth. Then they'll have to play the FA Cup final. Then they'll have to play Palace in the preceding week. And then we all square against Villa. I don't know, but it's looking like a bit of a headache for them, right? I think that is a bit of a headache for them. Just some food for thought. Let's keep an eye on that. So, North London Gunner says, I saw your post on Instagram and suggested Dowman on the right, who can drag the defender down the wing, creating space for Saka, who can play as a 10, dragging defenders into the middle as he cuts in. I didn't see that, Robin. Sorry, I've missed that. I haven't been on Instagram this morning to check things out. What do we reckon to that? So, Dowman on the right and Saka as the 10, and I assume that means dropping Ødegaard. Is that what that means? Dropping Ødegaard out of there? It's interesting. I didn't like that Saka in the 10. I didn't think it worked so well. I didn't see enough of that really from Saka. Also, I'm not sure if he's fit enough to do it. I'm not anti it, but I mean, we are here today to talk about these kinds of experimentation because let's face it, I'm going to move on slightly. Hang on. Let me just get off this page. Let's face it. If I have to see Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Madueke one more time. I'm going to grab my Tom. Did I say this? Yeah. If I have to see Gyökeres, Martinelli, and Madueke one more time, I'm going to grab my John Thomas, stick it in a vice, and squeeze it until the world explodes. Quite frankly, I cannot bear seeing that front three again. It's not happening for me. Not happening for me. Melatensis has joined us. Good morning, Melatensis. Thank you for joining us. Happy Monday to you. Blah. Melitesa says, morning, I agree with that North London Gooner. The problem is Arteta because he doesn't like to change. Yeah, okay, I don't disagree with that. I think now the idea, I mean, this is the thing. We're going to do the ifs and buts and the varying degrees of what we could potentially put up as a solution under the proviso that maybe Arteta tries something as well. But I'm kind of with you that I don't know if he will. But as I said, I think Martinelli is injured, right? I think Martinelli is injured. That's what AF Camden had suggested. So he may not be playing. But even so, I cannot see, I don't want to see a Madueke, Gyökeres. Yeah? Eze? I mean, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Gyökeres, Madueke. Goodness me. I really, really don't. Lloydie boys joined us. Lloyd, good morning. Gooners, good morning. He says loads of sunshine emojis. I assume it is absolutely gleaming with sunshine where you are this morning. Thank you for joining us. Get in the chat and let us know your thoughts. What is the solution? What is the solution? So I've slapped on screen a load of players, what we've got left, how we do this, right? There's always the idea that Trossard could play the number 9. I mean, I don't think Arteta's going to do this. I think he's going to stick with Jock. I don't know why. I don't know how this works at a club where you go, this isn't working, but we'll stick with Gyökeres anyway. I don't like to dump on a player, but Gyökeres just, I don't think he's at the level. It's taken me all season. A lot of Gunners have arrived at that opinion within about 3 weeks. I thought he would get better. He hasn't. I still don't think we played to his strengths, but whatever those, patterns of play look like to get Gyökeres taking first-time shots, we're not able to deliver it. I've said multiple times, the only way I see that happening is playing old school with 2 direct wingers, not inverted. So, for example, it would have been a Martinelli on the right and a Saka on the left, and it's balls in, first-time balls in, rather than cutting inside, trying to play intricate passes inside the middle of the pitch. I think it's going out wide, whipping balls across, not just headers, I mean low balls in so he can arrive, crash the box, first time finishes. Or we play through balls, but we can't play through balls because teams sit so deep or they go man to man. So that would involve us having to park the bus massively, try and create a space in behind and then lob balls over. I don't think that works either. So I don't know how you get Gyökeres working. I really don't. Trossard in the centre of the field, we saw that as a false 9 once before, didn't we? Varying degrees of success, if I'm honest with you, varying degrees. He's technically better, but not sure about that. Zubimendi needs a rest. I don't care. Rest him. I don't care. Rest him. Does that mean Miles Lewis-Skelly comes in to rest him? Is that a risk now? Can we afford to do that against a Fulham? Maybe we can afford to do it against a Burnley. Maybe there's an opportunity there. If you go to Zubimendi and say, look, we need 2 more big games out of you or 3 more big games, you'll get a rest against Burnley. Just give it all for that. Maybe there's an option to do that. Dalman, I still think, is kind of the impact player. To Robin's point, do you start him? Do we start Dalman? I just don't know about his defensive acumen at this time. But saying that, I have to be honest with you, I'm not sure starting Dalman is any more of a risk than starting Madueke at the moment, because I don't think his ability to take the ball, receive the ball, hold the ball, make some actions helps us, because really we're only going backwards so often because we can't keep the ball up front. I said this yesterday. The defense must be well annoyed. They get the ball forward and it's like, it's coming back. How is it coming back? No, it's like, would you just keep the ball up there, please? It must be so frustrating. And then Jesus. Does Jesus have something to offer? He is technically better than Jock. At this stage, I might be going absolutely crazy. At this stage, I think Jesus up front would probably be better than Gyökeres. I mean, he hasn't been impressive this year either, to be honest with you, when he has played, but he's fit now. He's as fit as he's really going to ever be. So I think maybe try that. Aye. Let's get in the chat. G-Doc says, they're really poor, aren't they? So fed up with Madueke. Glad Saka is back, except he was a poor signing and sell him in the summer. Are we talking about Madueke? Yeah. Yep. I mean, to be honest with you, we aren't selling any of those players next summer. They will be impossible to shift. I'm sure of that. G Dog continues. I want to see Wanyeri in the team next season. Yeah, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that. It's weird that he hasn't had much of a chance in Marseille. It's weird that we gave them an offer. We said the more you play him, the less you need to pay us. Really smart business, I thought. The more you play him, the less you need to pay us for the loan, and they've not played him. I'd be a bit worried about that. That he hasn't impressed there, but circumstances, the absolute mental scenario that's gone on at Marseille with losing their manager and etc. etc. So that's one to watch definitely. Lloyd says the only game where we played well but lost is the City game. Erdegaard, Eze, Rice, DM. Yeah, agreed. Agreed. It's the only game we've played well. It's only the only game we've played well in recent times, and we bloody lost it. It was just so weird. Lloyd continues. It's winter in South Africa. Of course it is. Of course it is. What an idiot. Is it icy cold? Are you freezing your bits off? Stay warm, Lloyd. Stay warm. G Dog, you don't expect Arteta to do something different, do you? I can live in hope, G Dog. I can live in hope. North London Gooner. Thing with Ranieri, he was too predictable because he always cuts in on his left foot. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about playing those inverted wingers, isn't it? He was quite predictable, but he did get good shots off, I must admit. And that's the difference between him and, say, Saka. I mean, it's an unfair comparison because Saka's so further developed, let's be honest, so much further developed. But Saka can cut in. He can go on the outside. He really does tie defenders up in knots. Lloyd continues. Gyökeres won't drop deep. He doesn't have the skills to do that. So we start Jesus, who can hold the ball. 100% with you on that one, Lloyd. Rob, in response to G-Dog, very true. He will likely stick to the same old. I think Dalman and Saka should do 60, 30 minutes each. Yep. Yep. I got to be honest, I don't want to see Madueke. I don't want to see Gyökeres really again. Just can't see it. We're going to end up having to keep them, almost certainly. We're going to have to keep them. There's no way we're shipping those players on. There's only been one season. They're on high wages. There's not many teams. It would probably be a loan with part covering the wages. And then we get into that thing again because we tank players' values. Tanking players' values seems to be something we're experts at. So the only thing I can think of is that you get to the end of the season, then you hope miraculously that Jock and Madueke have amazing pre-seasons, whatever they're doing, they work well with the team, they come back next year, and all of a sudden we're like, wow, we've got two new players. Look how different they are. They've changed, they've reconditioned, they're quicker, they're more hungry. I don't think Jock is at that level technically. Lloyd says, fully agree. Saka, Jesus, and Eze, that would work for the next few games. Why not? With a midfield of Rice, Erdegaard, Zubi. Yes. By 5, Lloyd. I'm taking that every day of the week. I don't mind Jock coming on for 10 minutes if the game state is right. I don't mind that, but even then, you did it against City and it was pretty ineffective, wasn't it? And of course, the weather update in South Africa at the moment is that it's raining all day long. Killed our golf yesterday. Yeah, it will do that. It will do that. I've had some fun days trying to play golf in the rain. I could tell you that. When I had, you get bitten by the bug, you start thinking, I'm going to go play golf every day. You get bitten by the bug. If you ever play golf, it can be very addictive. It's also very maddening, right? I've thrown a lot of clubs in my time. I've thrown a lot of clubs. And some days we would go out and it'd be absolutely peeing it down. Be like, no, I think it's going to clear up. It's an awful experience. North London says, come on now, Jesus is about as useless as a paper or in a storm. Yep. Okay, fair enough. And I would say that Gyökeres is a thread of an oar. He has no oar. He has no aura. Lloyd says, Eze on the left wing drifting in just like Saka, allow Erdegaard to go back to the 03 season when he controlled games and not dropping deep and double. A pure pivot of Rice and Zubi. Eze on the left wing drifting in like Saka, allow Erdegaard to go back to the 03-23 season, third season, when he controlled games and not dropping deep like a double. I mean, I think Erdegaard's too much. I know Erdegaard's getting so much crap at the moment, isn't he? He's getting so much shit online at the moment. It's extraordinary. And I think it's because he's having to do much. Do much? Yeah, he's having to do too much. He's having to drop deep. He's expected to be the playmaker. He's expected to score banging goals, dictate the tempo. win the duels, lead the press. I mean, I just think it's too much for him, man. Way too much for him. I'd quite like to see Zubimendi have a go at Erdegaard's role at some point, but keep Erdegaard on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Right. Thank you for chipping in. Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming full steam. We're going to have a little look at a poll. Let's do a little update. So on your screen right there was, I'm going to do this every week until we're basically out of it, or to the last game of the season, whatever. Last week I posted, do you still believe Arsenal will win the league? That was the post that went out to the Babs community. And the week before that, I think it was about 67% to 33. It then dropped. It dropped, after the City game to 53% to 47. I can reveal today that the poll, as of yesterday, stands at 50-50. Put it out yesterday, will Arsenal still win the league? 50% said yes, 50% said no. So it is split right down the middle. North London Gunner says, where are these polls? I never see them. I post them on YouTube. They're YouTube posts. I don't know if you follow there. I don't put them out on Instagram because A, I haven't figured it out, and also B, I don't know how to tie them in. I could post the link there, I suppose. I could post the link to the YouTube poll. The only thing is that I've come to learn that multiple platforms don't like you linking stuff to other platforms. It's funny, the algorithm kills it. So if I go and put a YouTube link into Instagram, Instagram's like, no, you must stay here. You must hier bleiben. German for you must stay here. Lloyd says, agree with that point. Zubi can play the 10. He's got the pass, the half turn, and the eye for goal, but we know our boss won't try that. I also think at this stage, I would love to see that maybe next season. I also think at this stage, he's probably too knackered to do it. I still think Norgard can be used. I mean, I'm not seeing the training every day. I don't know what they see. Why can't we use Norgard to give Zubi a rest? There's an opportunity. See, I've talked myself out of this because I think the Burnley game, there's a chance to play maybe Norgard or Miles Lewis-Skelly, and rest some players for the key games. And then also there's a part of me that goes, no, you have to go full strength because we need the goals. I'm not trying to focus on goal difference too much at this stage. I'm generally thinking, win them all, we win the league. But you still have that thing in the back of your mind, like, is Burnley an opportunity to rack up 3 or 4 goals, 5 or 6? We keep saying that. We're not playing well enough to score 6 goals, quite frankly. Robin says, Erdegaard should simply be a 10, not a ridiculously deep number 8. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Right. Something special for you guys. Let's take, don't go away, a lovely little break for you, courtesy of Co-Football on Twitter yesterday. Just stick around. It's about a minute. Watch this.
Do you actually listen to what the pundits are saying before the games and after the games?
Before the game and after?
Yeah. Do you listen to the pundits?
If I'm honest, no. Because you guys talk a lot. I know that.
You must be aware of this, but does it puzzle you, and are you using this to fire you up?
No, I don't care.
He was the key man. He gets the man of the match just for his goal. And we move forward.
You really got me going. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing.
Seeing lots of Eze's banging goals
You
on the
really
screen.
got me now. You got me so I can't sleep at night. Yeah, you really got me now. You got me so I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, you really got me now.
I've got this.
We've got a player of the match award. Who's it
Absolutely.
for?
Well, he doesn't like pundits, so can you give this a second right, please? Congratulations. Well
Thank
played,
you very
man.
much.
Great moment.
I appreciate
Enjoy
it.
it.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Why have I put that on there, you may be asking? Why have you put that on there? Well, firstly, thank you to Co-Football, that's COFUTBOL 03, Co-Football 03 on Twitter for that absolute banger of a clip. You can find them, Co-Football, at C02003, at C02003, and we thank them for giving us permission to use it. I saw that yesterday because it gave me the feels. Why did it give me the feels? Because it is Eze season, right? I think we're in agreement with that. He is at the moment one of our, if not our only effective player. Keep him fit. Got to give him his flowers. He's going to be crucial. I hope I don't jinx it. I really hope I don't jinx it. But he's not phased. He's never too emotional. He makes goals out of nothing. he had a bit of a rocky start. Arteta put him in jail for too long. Like, we're all screaming, like, why on earth did you do that? But Arteta himself alluded about a month or so ago. He said, I know how to use him now. And I think, yeah, you do. Put him on the pitch. That's how you use him. But yeah, I think he's the sort of player that can alleviate some stress, maybe. Quite frankly, we need him for that stale attack that we've got going on, but we have to protect him. I mean, he came off with a precaution the other day, and I just can't help but think, I mean, how do players do that? Just a precaution. They must have to be so in tune with their bodies that go, I possibly could play on, but I'm going to have to come off just to be sure. Because ultimately, we still needed him on the pitch. You know, it's a mad like toss-up of a decision to make, isn't it? Do I go off? Do I come on? It's just, do I stay on even? Absolutely crazy. Right, a few more bits and pieces as we go to your big ass opinions.
Apart from the two penalties he gave away, I thought the stuff he gave away was
way too dry.
Yes, here we go. Here we go. All right. Chat, get to it. We're gonna go for it. Let's go for the big ass opinions. What's your big ass opinion? You've dished out some good dirt already, so let's carry on with Lloyd, who says, you buy a captain from another team who has proven season after season that he can DM very well, then you bench him. Poor Norgard. Yeah, I don't get it. He cannot be that crap. You cannot drop off from Premier League captain of a very, very good team. Definitely worthy as a backup player to just not being used, to being dropped out of the squad. It doesn't make any sense to me. We've gone and spent £60 million on a player who was scoring goals against lower league opposition in the Portuguese league. Remember, Gyökeres didn't even score against the big teams there. It was the big worry that I had when everyone was talking about Gyökeres, because he was, lighting it up with goals in the Champions League. But in the league, the stats said he's not very good against the big teams. The data was there. And apparently, allegedly, Arteta was like, this is not my guy. And Berta was like, no, you should get this guy. And Arteta went, okay, this is my guy. Should have stuck his foot down. I'm not sure who else was available. I wasn't overly convinced with Sesko. I'm sure Sesko will be a good player. I think he's got all the qualities. Maybe he would have a better season. It's ifs and buts, but we needed a top quality striker. And I hate dunking on players. I really do. But Gyökeres just is not at the level. Not at the level. Lloyd continues, Eze should do all these post-games interviews. He just gives them the same energy they give us. He's brilliant in those. He's absolutely brilliant in those. He reminds me a little, I can't think of a player that's got so much aura like Eze in such a cool, amazing, fun, chilled out way. I was going to compare him to Ian Wright, because Ian Wright was a little bit like that, but Ian Wright was also an extremely emotional guy. And I don't think we've seen the like of Eze. I'm transfixed by his energy and the goals that he scores out of nowhere, where he just like, how did you get your leg to that and just bosh that in the top corner? It's incredible. Melitensis says he keeps being substituted. One of the few who can produce something. Yeah. Well, I think they're trying to protect him, aren't they? I mean, I don't know how it works. I don't know if you're a physio, if you're that nervous, if he goes, I felt a tweak, and they're like, get him off. Like, I don't know, but it does speak volumes about the squad. We will dissect that squad at the end of the season. Well and truly, we'll get into that. But let's face it, the backup or challenging players have not been good enough. Lloyd says, come on, people, let's like and share, grow our community. Yeah, Lloyd, let's do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. North London says he got a hat-trick versus City. He did. Gyökeres did get a hat-trick versus City. I think 2 of them were penalties, weren't they? One of them was him racing through on goal. Like, I haven't seen him run that quick since. Absolutely maddening. Absolutely maddening. Right, let's have a little look at the Twitterverse. What was going on yesterday? Harvey Diamonds at Harvey Diamonds says, take note of who is talking down on Lewis Skelly right now. Those people are not people you should be listening to. Phrases like too small and too slow to play in midfield, while some of the best ever midfielders were not tall or fast. If he's platformed properly next season, the Arsenal save 80 million plus in the transfer window by having a great all-phase central midfielder plus inverted left back, in case of emergencies. Yeah, basically, if Miles Lewis-Skelly can grow next season, it is going to save us a bunch of money. I just don't know. I don't know. Let us know your thoughts. It might be a bit too soon. Thanos at Muchang_I Thanos has got the ring of power. I don't know Marvel. What has he got? He's got power. He's killing Avengers. I don't know what he's doing. Thanos says it's not going down to goal difference. No one, and I mean no one, is beating Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, and Aston Villa all in a row. I hope to God that is true. I put that on there because I'm trying to will it into existence. I really admire the confidence there, Thanos. If anyone could be confident, it is Thanos. AFC Camden says, having Saka on the pitch makes such a difference, hoping he can sustain the load and contribute big minutes for the final 6-7 games. The stadium definitely felt calmer with him on the pitch, brings poise and clarity to the final third. Plus, is reliable in possession. Yes. We saw it, didn't we? We all saw it. When Saka came on, everything got lifted. I mean, and he came on for 10 minutes. We have to get that guy fit and keep him fit. And as everyone's been discussing today, really, it's probably got to be Dalman on the right. Maybe even Jesus. I just wish I could see a bit more Jesus to finally know whether he's completely shit now or not. Hand of Arsenal says there is cautious optimism around the injury of Kai Havertz. Timeline yet to be determined, but initial fears of it being really serious have been alleviated. Trying to be as careful as I can with injury news and how fast it can change, but thought the fan base could do with this. Thank you, Hand of Arsenal. I think the fan base can do with that. He does help to bring down the temperature, old Hand of Arsenal. He certainly does. Right. A little bit more chat from you guys, and I'll do the instant karma take of the day, and then we can all head off to work or something, whatever we've got to do today. Lloyd says, you send Nwaneri out on loan. Look what happens. Yep. Robin says Nwaneri did well in about 3 to 4 games, but defenders clocked onto him thereafter, and he struggled. He didn't do too well at the start of the season either. There were signs of when he was playing in the midfield. I felt when we actually gave him a little bit of time in midfield, he's just not there yet. I don't think he's developed enough yet. I think he can do. Our academy players, I think sometimes as Arsenal fans are a little bit guilty of going, we give the academy players coming through, we start to think they're just going to be wonder kids and break through immediately. And rarely is that the case. Their progress isn't always linear. It isn't just plain sailing to being a superstar straight away. It does dips, troughs, peaks and troughs and so on. So I think when those players aren't available, we think they're a solution to everything. But then, I'm sat here thinking Jesus is the solution to everything. So what do I know? North London Good says, I want him to do well, but does say totally agrees with Thanos. Okie dokie. Let's get some instant karma.
Instant karma take of the day.
Okay. This is a bit of a long one. I'm just going to expand this because it's really huge. Not all of the text is on the screen because it goes on a bit, but I'll rattle through it, right? This is from Abu Jawad at Abu_Jawad. Now, he says, breaking. Just to let you all know that football did not start in 2005. Every time Arsenal fans breathe, someone shouts 21 years without a league title, as if Arsenal invented waiting. But let's remind every football fan of history, because some people started watching football after Wi-Fi was installed in their house. Before you mock Arsenal, remember your own history. Liverpool, 1990 to 2020, that's 30 years without a league title. 3 full decades of waiting before they finally celebrated again. Manchester City, 1968 to 2012, a massive 44 years without winning the English League. Manchester United, 1967 to 1993. Yes, the same United that talked the loudest went 26 years before lifting the league again. Chelsea Football Club, 1955 to 2005. The club people now call serial winners waited 50 years before winning the modern Premier League, with 66 managers and 67 loading with just 6 trophies to show. Now suddenly, Arsenal's 22 years is treated like a century of suffering. Funny. Football didn't begin with Roman Abramovich's money. Football didn't begin with Pep Guardiola. Football didn't begin with Klopp. Football has always been cycles. Great club rises, great club falls, then great clubs rise again. Arsenal have not disappeared. We rebuilt. We trusted the process. We built a young team, and now the world is watching again. Hate us, mock us, laugh at us. But remember this, Every giant club in England has gone through long droughts, far longer than we are on currently. And when Arsenal finally lift the Premier League again, the noise from the Emirates Stadium will shake the football world. Mark this. This is the season the joy returns. This is the season the Gunners smile again. Sing with me, Gunners. North London forever, whatever the weather. I thought that was really good. Well done, Abu Jawad. The waiting is painful, but by God, we are close. And that's why I think we should be sticking with the team and backing them completely all the way to the end of the season. And I back you guys that have been in the chat with us this morning. Thank you so much for getting involved, especially on a Monday. It's always a bit of a dirge to get going, isn't it? If you can be bothered, as ever,
Lizzo and Subscrizzle.
please like and subscribe. We've also got the podcast coming out. If you're catching up later or if you've missed some of this, we always have the podcast if you want it on the go. That gets released about 20 minutes after the show. Please do keep getting involved. Look, the socials are there right in front of you. You can follow us all across the socials. And as ever, comment, chat, get involved. Thank you so much. Go and attack that Monday. Pick that Monday up like it's a hamburger. Attack it, devour it. Slap it up. We'll see you again tomorrow. 7 a.m. We'll preview the Athletic game. 7 a.m. tomorrow. Please do get your ass in gear.